Hmm?
Did you pick the color?
No, I just came with it. Meeting's order, start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Todd, would you like to start it? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Money,
Here.
Paulson,
Present.
Smith,
Here.
Jones,
Here.
we have a quorum.
All right, at this time, I'd like to open up public comment. State your name and your address. What would you like to talk about?
My name is Charles Galbraith. I live on Ridge Street, Braidwood. I've lived there for about 18 years. I got a lot of questions. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Smith, because he seems to be the only one in this room that makes himself accessible to the people of Braidwood. I'd like to know why it is that a mayor was elected official to do a job for the people of Braidwood, but instead of doing a job for the city of Braidwood, he shows up for 5 hours in a week. And don't say you don't because you already admitted to you did.
Are you talking to me?
Are you the mayor?
No,
Where's the mayor
right here. There's the
at?
mayor.
Well,
He's the one that was in the drive-through when you yelled at the girls and sped off
You're
the other
Jones?
day that you were looking at.
well,
So he
see,
was there.
isn't that pretty sad that you don't nobody recognize you because you're never here?
I doubt that very
You
much.
could turn around and everybody raise their hand that recognizes the mayor.
They recognize the mayor from these meetings, but he admitted, and his people that work for him, admit he's only shows up 5 hours for a week, not a day. I turn around and I have business with the police department, which is just about as bad as you are, and the police department was closed at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Friday, and the sergeant was out in the parking lot taking out reports. And I asked where the chief was, and the chief was not available either for the people of Braidwood.
That was a
And
holiday.
then you got a newspaper article. Did you read the newspaper article? About Braidwood? About all the break-ins and robberies in Braidwood? And the businesses are threatening to put bars on their windows because the police department can't solve a crime? There's a lot of problems going on here. It'd be nice if you served more than 5 hours a week to take care of the people of Braidwood. I don't care what you do in these meetings. I'm talking about every day. You're never there.
I'm in
You
town.
embarrass the people of Braidwood with your drunken driving and accidents, and you're never there for anybody. And it's a joke when the first time you had your first meeting, the people in the audience were all joking that now they'll get city jobs because their relative is the mayor.
Who's that?
Listen,
I don't have any
the
relatives.
bottom line is you're not doing your job. You're never here, and you admitted you weren't here. You said you on the phone when you called me that I'll show you on my phone. I got incoming calls from the lines, from told lines,
I called you
and
all
from
back.
you. And the bottom line is you admitted that you're never here, and the reason you don't consider yourself having to be here, laugh all you want, make an ass out of yourself. Because you said you're only making $2,000 a year, so that's why you don't have to show up. You were voted in as a mayor to show up every day and be here and make yourself available to the people of Braidwood. I retired here in Braidwood because my grandfather was born here in 1876, and he's a coal miner, and the property that we're standing in right now belonged to his family until about 1957. So I care about what happens in Braidwood, and you don't.
Well, I
You're
have to
ridiculous.
disagree with you. And I'm in town all the time. People
You're
say-
never in there, and I call up your.
I'm not sitting at the
I
window.
called your
It's not my
bar,
job
and
to
I
sit
asked,
at the-
I called your bar and I asked for you. And they said, oh, Jonesy's at his job. I said, I was just at City Hall, he's not there. And they said, no, he's at his other job. With those white trucks you got sitting out there in your parking lot?
Right.
That's what you were. You were never, and you admitted you only have about 5 hours a week here.
I never
Not a
said that.
day, a week.
And I said that to you?
Yes, you did. You
When?
said, last week, when I talked to you on the phone last week. And you said, the reason you're not here no more, or here, because I'm only taking $2,000 a year for salary. You didn't tell me that? Then you're a liar besides everything else. Thank you for your service, Mr. Smith. You're a gentleman, and I wish everybody in this panel would be as wonderful as you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you can read your papers, you get a chance to find out your police department's not doing its job either.
Well, I think you're completely wrong.
It's in the paper, I don't write the paper.
Well, it's gotta be true if it's in the
Yeah,
paper.
it's gotta be true if it's in the paper.
That's right.
That's right.
This whole council in town is brought
Yeah.
up.
You're telling me that,
All right, 3 minutes is
Time's
up.
up.
Hey, you're at 3.5 minutes. Let's
you're
move
telling
on.
me Casey was not, Casey was not robbed 3 times?
Hi, my name is Joe Byers. I'd like to thank the council for doing your job. Chief, I'd like to thank you and your department. You guys are doing a great job. Our town is known for Christmas parade, food pantry, help the neighborhood. A business with bars in the window does not represent the police force or Braidwood. It represents the sign of the times. It's pretty simple to figure that out. Thanks.
Karen Hart, 980 West Kennedy Road. I just wanted to say thank you to all the council members, particularly Tony and Todd. They were the first ones at the door when I got back, the day after I got back from the hospital after Charlie passed, with a tray of food, and I can't thank you enough. And I thank all of Braidwood. You have been very gracious. And I just wanted to tell you I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anybody else got public comment?
You know I do. Nicole Shores, 976 North English Street. All right. Hey, do you have an email? Do you have an email address through here?
Did you what?
Do you have an email address?
No, I didn't get, it's, yes, I did, I got an email.
You have email? Okay, I have some FOIAs you haven't responded to. I would greatly appreciate that because you're like 3 weeks past your date of 5 days of having them done. So I greatly appreciate that. Also, I wanted to revisit a question I asked you back in October. Why did you hire a lawyer to amend ordinances for your job description? No comment? You spent over $18 to rewrite an ordinance you are not following. And contrary to that man's belief, you are the only one, well, maybe not the only one, but one of 2 that aren't doing their job right. I just happen to come after you first. Also, thank you for my sign. I do appreciate it, but I shouldn't have had to fight so long for it. Also, to the entire council, I would like to urge you to vote against any person who previously sat in the position that you're sitting in, or anyone who has any personal connections to the previous administration. We need fresh faces and to escape past practices. Thank you, guys.
All right, anybody else?
Adam 8289 Deer Run Drive. I think we all owe Karen a big round of applause tonight for sharing Charlie with us. I fought hard with him to be a part of this board. Walked right next to him for a very long time. Karen knows the battle we went through. So I want to thank Karen for sharing him and allowing him to be a part of this council and a part of the city. Karen, thank you so much.
Anybody else? All right, this time we'll close public comment. All right, we need the approval of the minutes from November 24th meeting.
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
We need a second to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Salter,
Yes.
Money,
Abstain.
Smith,
Yeah.
and Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, we're gonna bring Bill up for discussion on our audit. You can explain our audit.
I have to apologize to, Bill, like I said before. I knew you were coming, and I've got all the stuff from Kyle and that, and I apologize for not bringing it up in the meeting, but welcome tonight.
Thank you very much. My name is Bill Hanley with the accounting firm Whipley, and we're pleased to present the audit for the year ended 4/30/20, April 30th, 20. We were just here a little while ago, working on the 19 report. We're glad to report we're caught up and everything's timely filed. We're going to file the annual financial report with the state this week, and it's well before the due date. So we were a little bit delinquent in the past, but now we got everything filed with the state. We want everything filed this week with the state. You received the audit report package in the mail this week, or you got a paper copy as well as an electronic copy. If we had a chance to take a look at it. First thing I want to do is thank the staff, and Tony and Kyle Kasperi for all their help with the audit. They were very helpful. You know, this year was a little bit different with the COVID situation. We had to do things a little more remotely. We were here a few days, but we did a lot of back and forth, and we appreciate everyone's effort. There was also a lot of changes this year. There was a new payroll system and process implemented, and also Kyle worked hard with the staff to improve the monthly reporting to the city and to the board. So a couple of comments on the actual numbers. Page 3 of the audit report, which shows the statement of net position, which is basically how many assets the city has. And as of April 30th, 20, the city has about $35 million of assets, and that's primarily all its properties, all its fixed assets, you know, the roads and the water system. So that's positive. However, there's unrestricted deficit of about $2 million. And I'll go into that a little bit more here. On page 3, page 4, which is a statement of activities, which is for a business term, kind of the profit and loss statement. That statement showed that the current year expenses for governmental activities including depreciation, was $5.2 million. And that is about $800,000 less than the prior year. So the city actually spent about not quite $1 million less than a year ago. And that decrease in expenses was primarily two things. There was a lot less overtime paid out to in the police department, and capital outlay for road improvements. There was a large expenditure in the prior year for a road improvement project that wasn't in this year. Looking at the water and sewer fund on page 10, that fund generated revenue in excess of expenses of about $600,000. So that was a positive news. Skipping back to page 7, the general fund expenditures were about $164,000 more than its revenue. So we weren't quite break even, but at least we're moving in the right direction, because the prior fiscal year of 2019, the expenditures were almost $1 million more than the revenues. So, as I said earlier, some expense control, especially over overtime, and just overall cost controls helped make that significant change. I provided some trend information that shows like the last 4 years in the water and sewer fund and in the general fund. And the water and sewer was trending down where the revenues weren't really meeting the expenditures. And as I said, this year that reversed itself, and we're about $600,000 to the positive. Same thing with the general fund. The general fund was having a couple tough years there where the expenses were more than the revenue, and as I said, we're just about getting to break even. We want to start contributing where expenses are less than revenues, and we can work the deficit down and get to a surplus position for the city. Another item of significance was during this year was that the TIF fund transferred about $700,000 to the water and sewer fund to make the loan payment to the Illinois EPA. We also issued what's called an internal control letter or advice letter to the council. And there's really two things that, or two large things that I want to talk about or point out. Over the years, when one fund was short some money and another fund had excess money, there would be entries made to show an inter-fund borrowing. So like one fund would loan the other fund money. An example of this is the motor fuel fund has a deficit of about $1 million, which means that it borrowed $1 million from the water and sewer fund to pay for some projects. All right. So what the board really has to think about or consider is, what's the overall plan for these interfund balances? If there's a plan to say, over the next 2 years or the next 3 years, we're going to have a surplus in one fund and we have the ability to actually pay that money back, that's great. However, if that's really not going to happen, and that was a decision that was made in the past that you're not going to change, or really can't change, then I think there probably should be a formal decision by the board to actually show a transfer of funds and approve a transfer of funds from one fund to the other fund.
When did that happen, the transfers?
Oh, it goes back. I don't think it was one specific amount. It's probably, it's over a series of years where it's a little bit, build up of 50,000 or 100,000, and then you do that for 4 or 5 years in a row, and it gets to be large balances. So I don't think it was one, on this day they moved, 500,000 from one fund to the other. So, but we can provide all the the specific details, and, if you really don't think that a fund has the ability to repay it, you really ought to think about approving a transfer, but that's your decision, or if you say, no, I think over the next 2 or 3 years, we'll try to get a surplus and actually, move the money back, that's another, potential,
I have a question on that.
Sure.
Is it not law that if the money's borrowed, it has to be paid back before the end of the fiscal year from one department to another?
I don't know the true legality, I'd maybe talk to your, legal, counsel on that, so. But fund accounting says, typically money within a fund should be spent for the purpose of that fund, so. The other, comment that we, have in the internal control letter, it's more of a warning. We didn't note any instances of this, but just, with emails and cyber security, I guess we're just telling everyone to be aware that it's out there, it's more rampant than ever, and just be careful with your emails, that, you get something that looks suspicious, don't open it up, you may want to consider at some point in time, having a consultant come in and review all your policies, but, we hate to see a problem, with email or cyber theft, so.
We do have a two-stage authentication, so.
Yeah, that's why I said there's steps in place, but you always gotta be one step ahead, so, you think you got everything covered, and then a new strategy or a new, scam, or what term you wanna use comes along, so. I went over some of those things maybe a little bit quick, but if you have any specific questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them at this time.
I'm not aware of that motor fuel getting like that, but the engineer and the clerk says they've been taking care of that. I wasn't aware that they were behind. I was always told they were good.
Yeah, and, I didn't look this up, I can. This may go back 10 years, I'm not sure, it's not, or, I can look at some of the prior audit reports and.
If it goes back a long ways,
Yeah.
It was about 3 years.
Is it about 3 years ago? Okay, yeah. So it just, kind of cleans up the books a little bit, so.
but I was told it was good.
Okay.
The only thing, the engineer is supposed to okay everything spent. And that's where I had it. And all the contracts and everything, was never put out no lot of that many contracts the last 4 or 5 years. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Bill.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Tonight, I've got to approve appointments for the Commissioner of Public Health and Safety.
I'd like to make that motion. I'd like to make a motion to appoint James Michael Jr. for the position of Public Health and Safety.
I'll second that motion.
Who's the second?
Mayor, we asked Jim, could you come up here for just a second? We'll give a little information. So what we did is the mayor wanted to kind of reach out and let everybody from the public decide who wanted to, step up to the plate in Charlie's place. We had about 10 people in there. A few of them thought it was a full-time job, so they weren't too interested in it. I talked to Wayne, I talked to Doug, I talked to the mayor, and went through the list of people with them and asked them to kind of pick what their consideration may be for that position. James had a couple of people bringing it up. He's been a lifelong resident, approximately 50 years, sorry. He graduated Reed Custer in '83. He raised his kids here, his dad worked here, retired from here. Got 2 sisters here. He coached football for Reed Custer for approximately 25 years. He's also indicated that in the springtime, when the actual election comes, he plans on running for this position for a permanent spot. Like I said, he's been part of, I know we've done football and with the chief and everybody else, and anytime there's been somebody needing to step up, we call him Moose. He's never deviated from a challenge. I do believe, and everybody that's spoke with him believes that he's got the best interest in mind for Braidwood. I don't know, maybe he gets a 30-second thing on what you'd like to do and help with in that position.
Well, I would just like to get involved with the community and try to make this place a better city for not just for all the people. And I'd like my grandkids to be raised here and just do the right thing for everybody.
All right, that's what we got.
As Tony had mentioned, so everyone knows what the meaning of these appointments would be. Because of the timing of the vacancy, this appointment would only serve until the April municipal elections or springtime elections. They would serve up until whoever is elected is sworn in. So approximately until end of April, beginning of May. And then whoever is elected would serve the remaining 2 years of the term to then be up again for re-election with all of you.
Roll call. Money,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Smith,
No.
Salzman,
No.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Raymond Shane for Commissioner of Public Health and Safety.
I'll second it.
Again, Ray, he's been one of the guys that's always stepped up to the plate, and I don't know if you ever seen the really nice looking fire hydrants now?
Yeah.
Ray spent hours and hours and hours and hours, and along with, he's one of the ones that, we all know that are, well, I'm not sure how it works now, but the high school kids are supposed to be doing community service, and Ray's took it upon himself to, get a lot of them out there to, get some community service hours. We've always, anytime we've ever needed hand with something, he's always stepped up to the plate and, done something. Again, he lives in Braidwood, so, kind of same thing. What do you think on your part?
I just like the opportunity to work with you guys to keep pushing Braidwood forward, making it better for everybody.
Thank you.
Money,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Smith,
No.
Salzman,
No.
We spoke with the, attorney on, the procedures in case this was to happen. I believe we were gonna look to go into an executive session
Yeah, we can.
and discuss the, just so everybody's clear on how everything goes, so.
Is that what we wanna do?
Well, can I
Then I would need to,
make a motion? Do I have
to
a,
go into executive session.
no, I wanna make my motion for what I want. And
It's up to, it's the mayor's, agenda item here.
I make a motion or appoint, Andy Galati for the remaining, term of 4 months.
I'll second it.
Salzman,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Money,
No.
Jones,
No.
So if we're looking to go into executive session, I do have, who wants to make a motion, I have it written out, we just need to input the time that you'd be going in.
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session at 7:30 to discuss the selection of a person to fill public office, including the vacancy in public office pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C3.
I would ask to go in, sorry, the vote to go in there now,
Yes.
I would ask only the elected officers to go in.
I would too. Only elected officials would.
To exclude legal counsel?
No. You gotta come in. You're getting a good cup down now. I may need your help.
You do. So we had a motion, did we have a second? Motion to go into executive session?
Second.
I'll second.
Salzman,
No.
Jones,
Yes.
Smith,
No.
Money,
Yes.
Motion doesn't carry.
Well, I'm gonna make an appointment, and I'm gonna appoint Jim Michaels.
I don't think you have the right.
We can't discuss it, because nobody wants to go in the back.
I don't think you have the right to do that.
You appointed him to serve as the acting commissioner
Acting
of
Yeah.
public health and safety?
Public Health and Safety. All right, come on up, Jim, we'll swear you in.
I, James Michaels,
James Michaels,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Commissioner of Public Health and Safety
of Commissioner of Public Health and Safety
for the City of Braidwood, Illinois,
for the city of Braidwood, Illinois,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right,
We'll get you chairs. You want a seat up here?
Nope. You're up here now.
Well, then,
You need a chair. You got one of these chairs over there?
Not that way you want it.
It's getting a little too festive in here.
okay. say we had a great Christmas parade and a good turnout for everybody along the street and everything. I think everybody had a good time. It's good to see everybody out doing stuff for the community and stuff. So that was real nice. All right, Tony, what do you got?
As you guys can see, we've been working kind of in City Hall and on the front and everything, trying to get in the festive spirit of Christmas, being we're trying to bring everything back that we used to do, parades and everything, and decorations and all of the above to, bring Braidwood back together again. I got just a very few things that we ended up getting the, insurance premium quotes for the, city of Braidwood this year, again, because of all the COVID and all the riots and all the, everything going on. There's so many lawsuits going on in the United States that, of course, the insurance premiums are skyrocketing. We normally pay about $320,000 a year, which includes work comp. This year, it looks like we're gonna be right up at $400,000. Not only are we, like I said, making ends meet, now we gotta come up with another $80,000 for insurance premiums. So it just makes stuff a little tougher every day. But that's all I got.
All right. Teresa, do you have anything?
I do not, thank you.
Okay. Our engineers in here tonight. Brian.
The only thing I have is regarding the tax levy. Kyle Kasper, who's our city accountant, is preparing the tax levy. And on December 28th, City Hall is gonna host a special city council meeting to vote on the passage of that tax levy ordinance. It'll be for the fiscal year beginning May 1, 2020, until the fiscal year ends of April 30th, 2021. The amount of the tax levy is $1,734,115. I believe the percentage on that is 4%, which I believe is the same as last year.
Yes.
So at the same rate of increase as last year, but that will be on the December 28th special city council meeting agenda. That'll be a Monday night. That'll be posted like typical agendas on the website, on the doors. So everyone's notified that we will have that meeting. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Brian. All right, Wayne, Council
Okay,
Finance.
we gotta get down to business here. Make a motion to approve the bills, $120,000. Is that got the adjustment in the city clerk?
I'm sorry?
Is it, there was adjusted, on the bill list, and that is that correct? I thought it was like 122,000, according to the, the front page, there's 122,000.
Yeah, it appears there was an adjustment
Yeah,
on $122,656.52.
correct. I make that motion?
I'll say it.
Osborne,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, payroll expense, make a motion, $132,820.81. I make that motion.
I'll say it.
Osborne,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
motion carried.
One thing I left is the food pantry. People are still not coming out like we thought. This is the first of the month. We only had about 26 families come through. We've got plenty of food in that, and I might add that Deconstruction donated 16 turkeys to us. I got a call that they had some after their they buy for their employees, and then we were fortunate enough to get some. It was supposed to have been more, but at the last second, which I can understand, you got to take care of your own people in your own town. Is the Coal City Food Pantry came through and picked up a bunch. Anyway, now today we had, like I said, only 26 come through, but we got turkeys left over from Thanksgiving, so as the month goes by, they're gonna get a turkey instead of a ham for Christmas, so. Anybody, I know it's a little bit early, I wanna wish everybody, Merry Christmas. I was in the parade, I enjoyed it very much. I didn't have no sign on my golf cart, but I waved and some of the people knew who I was, so. Merry Christmas, everybody. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Wayne. Streets and public improvements. Hey,
I wish somebody learned the truck driver how to drive around here. We're working all the time about doing something. When they get to the dollar store, they don't know how to get in. But, we've been working, getting all cleaned up, trying to get things, cleaning up junk today. And we're working on equipment most of the time, short of help. And everybody criticizes what I'm doing. I don't have no help, but when it comes to cutting the budget, they know how to cut my budget where I can't get no help. And I'm doing the best I can, and I am keeping record of what we're doing. Thank you.
all right. We're gonna throw you in the hot seat right off the get. Todd, you got anything for?
Yeah, I just have our arrest reports from like 11:23 to 12:06. We had a total of 5 arrests. Total calls for service, we ran 122. After last week's meeting, getting kind of called out on crime in Braidwood, Detective Sergeant Altieri ran a quick report to date. So under the previous administration for a year and a half, from June 1st, 2017 to 11/25 of 18, they ran 8,726 calls. We ran 6,766. They had 874 police reports. We had 729. They had 44 thefts. We had 36. They had 27 burglaries. We had 20. They had 18 full-time officers. We had 10. Calls to service are down 22%. Reports are down 16%. Thefts are down 18.18%. Burglaries are down 25.93, and we spent over $1 million less. So hopefully that answers everybody's question. Anybody that wants to come and personally meet with me, they can. Veers did come in after he called me out at a meeting, and we did meet at that Friday at 9 o'clock, and he just apologized to me. He should not have called out our officers. He was wrong. He did take ownership on that. So anyway, that's the situation we're in. I think we're doing a great job. And we have Shop with the Cop Thursday. So if anybody wants to come back here and volunteer their time about 8:30, we're going to get back, and if you want to help the kids wrap presents, that'd be great. Anybody likes to wrap presents? I know my wife does.
What time is that?
We'll be back in town about 8:30.
Give me a 5-minute spiel. What do you do? How many kids are you doing? What are you doing for the community?
So
here?
what it is
Who's helping
you take kids in, we set the criteria. Different departments do different things when they do Shop with the Cop. We have a certain criteria. We start off with something tragic in their life. Say if we responded to their house or they lost a loved one, we try to target those kids first. And then we go to maybe the lower income, broken homes. So we go to the school. We don't make the decisions. We go to the schools and talk to the principals and social workers, and that's how we select the kids. So we got 13 kids going, and it's pretty heartwarming when you know some of their stories. Been a policeman 30 years, and I went last year. It was probably one of the most, it was just a great experience. And almost every member of the department's coming, and the wives are coming, my wife's coming. We got a school bus, a small school bus. We're gonna give them an escort. Squad cars in front, squad cars in back. Walmart and Morris is waiting for us. They have designated registers for us. They'll have cookies out for us last year. It's just a great experience.
I have a question.
Yes. No, you can't go, but you can volunteer.
I was just gonna ask how many volunteers do you need? I'll call out for some.
Right now, we're good on the volunteers. I'm going to Walmart.
Well, I mean, like.
But coming back here, I'll let you know.
Okay,
I'll
good.
find it. It'd be nice having a few extra, because when everybody comes back, they're kind of drained and tired,
Yeah,
you know, shopping with the kids.
I'll call out for some, let me know.
Sorry, real quick, the money for that, is it donated by?
It is. It's donated by the public, by you people.
What do you,
So
not to interrupt, but what do you typically like to get for each kid? I mean, is there a certain?
right now, anywhere from 100 to 100, and last year we did 100.
Okay.
So that's probably what we'll do this year.
So if we wanted to donate, how do we go about it?
Yeah, you can, like when we were at Walmart, somebody donated money to me last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a holding account So then I go to Carol and she puts it in a line item.
Okay.
So, and then I print out a receipt just so they have it, so we help keep track of the money. So we raised like, I want to say almost $3,000 this year. There's a lot of giving people this year for it. And it's it's just a great experience.
You could probably just drop it off even at the police station at the window.
Yeah, we have a receipt book, so if you just drop it off the window, the girl will give you a receipt for it. And then we as we enter it in, then we print out a receipt with your name on it, and some people just want to remain anonymous. And, but we raised quite a bit, so we're gonna take anywhere from 13 to 15 we have going this year.
And that donation can go at any time during the
Yeah.
year? Nice, okay.
Yes.
That's all I wanted.
Comment to you?
Yeah.
I think I talked to you last year, Bradley, Illinois, it was in the Kankakee paper front page that, Shop with a Cop and they make that a big deal. And getting the word out there, and that's very nice.
Yeah, we're having, like, I don't know if I said this either, but we're meeting here early, we're having pizza parties, we have plenty of money in our account. So we're gonna order some pizza, have a little pizza party here before we go, and then say goodbye to their parents, and we have all the vehicles lined up for them, and off for to Walmart.
Nice.
So, again, thank you to all the people that donated for this cause. It's greatly appreciated.
All right, thanks, Todd, good job.
Raise your hand.
All right, Doug's up next.
Thank you. We had 23 locates, 1 sewer inspection, 1 water repair, 1 hydrant repair. I think it was one Commissioner Smith mentioned. 2 new meter installs, 4 meter repairs, 11 meter reads, 3 water shutoffs, 1 buffalo box repair, and we installed 91 MXUs. Cleaned up the shop and did equipment maintenance. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Doug. Anybody got anything under old business? You got anything under new business? All right, our next meeting is December 22nd, 7 o'clock.
Is that the correct date? Monday, Wednesday?
No, that's the next regularly scheduled one.
Oh, you're gonna do the special meeting
We'll
Monday?
still have this one on the 22nd, and then we'll have one on the 28th for the tax.
Oh, okay, I got you. Misunderstood.
All right, need to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Money,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Cleary.
We'll see that, with, Kyle and we.
For the tax audit?
No,